started with the Justin, like I said, the Justin Bailey leotard outfit. I did that because I thought it was going to be easy, even though like making an arm cannon is not easy, come to find out. And after that, it just sort of, she stuck with me. I like space, I like horror, I like her armor and character design, and it's, she's a cause that's close to my heart now because, like I said, it has changed my life. Thank you.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, yay! One of us. Okay, revolving door.
Let's stop the door. You got it. You got it.
Oh, no problem. Yeah, Space Babe cosplay, all one word. Yes. Yeah, I'll get you back as soon as I have hands again. I'm Space Babe cosplay, all one word.
These are like my two favorite characters.
That's awesome.
3, 2, 1.
That's so cool.
The only negative thing is like when somebody says something like, you know, somebody on Twitter said I had stubby legs, but I mean I'm 5'5". You don't take it. Yeah, you don't take it seriously. Online isn't real, so try not to let stuff like that bother me.
Oh! Can I? Yes! You're like my favorite.
Oh my God, you look awesome! I love Chun-Li. In person, everybody's great. Everybody's really nice.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I want to take one. Take one with Can I take one with you?
Of course.
Spiders. Whoa.
Oh.
Windy.
Hey. Hi. Come on into Halloween Central.
Thank you. Want to give us a quick room tour?
Sure.
House tour?
Okay. Is this
tour?
okay? Yes. This is the dog, Colty, aka Mr. Buns. He's okay. Now he's getting excited. John's in the middle of all of his Halloweening, but I mean, aside from the stuff on the floor, this is pretty much how it normally is.
So basically,
yeah, we call this the Hall of Heads. It was a strange space when I first got here. We decided to separate this into 2 separate rooms so we'd have more wall and storage space. But you know, I house a lot of the props that we've built up here. Like the PD Piranha is something I made. The golden arm cannon, the Korok mask, the 2 Samus helmets. And then a lot of the other things are just like collectible things John had from whenever, being here 20 years or so.
wow, okay.
It's been here a long time.
What are you
so.
like most proud of, like seeing out of all? Like it's all impressive, but what is like your baby?
I would say PD's probably my baby, the piranha head. It is so, it's not the most technical thing, but it's something that I patterned and did myself, and it's a lot of fun to wear, and people get a big kick out of it. It's absurd.
Can you put it on?
Yes, I can.
Would you like
now?
to put it on? Yeah,
Sure.
if you want.
Okay. Okay. No earrings. It's actually took it to Colossal Con, which is like a water park convention, and was able to take it in the pool.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty old.
So yeah, it's got a head hole and some elastic, so it sort of bends a little bit, so I can kind of get my head through. Oop. And it's a process. Yeah.
I love that.
I usually wear it with a wig, which is another like whole ordeal. So
Oh wow.
I do the rest of the tour like this.
How does it like feel like?
Good. It's fine. It's light. It kind of hurts my shoulders after a while, but it's not heavy at all. It's just that constant something sitting on there. If I can't see somebody, I'm like,
Open up.
yeah. And people want to take pictures, and they'll like stick their head in my mouth and stuff like that. It's a lot of fun.
That's fun. Okay.
Okay, now I got to get this off. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, yeah, that's essentially this room. And like I said earlier, lots of art from me and people from conventions and stuff like that. So my interests are so all over the place. My major, I did my undergraduate and my master's in history, but I've always done art and taken art classes like during that time as well. And I've, you know, in the late 90s, early 2000s, it just didn't feel like a feasible career to do art for a living. So it's something I've always just done as a hobby. But yeah, acrylic painting is my thing.
What about the dog?
Yeah, that's my most recent one. She's my,
Inspired by her?
she's my muse. My crusty little stinky muse. Yeah. So.
All asbestos tiles. My lab, I call it my lab. Yeah. Because I can podcast from here and do design work. And then on Mondays and Fridays, I remote work. So I work from home. I can build stuff, which that's going to be the death of me, this robot.
This robot.
If my boy, please, my son is sick. I can do a good Cobra Commander, where I'll be like, attention world, it is I, Cobra Commander. Like that's a pretty decent Cobra Commander, right? It's looking for a remote. So this little chip here is the remote, which I haven't set up, but I had to set up the MAC, give it the MAC address from the chip that's in here. It is actually, I haven't tested it yet, but it is ready to be tested if you guys want. This may be the moment it all works and it all comes together. It's a BD1 unit. That's all right. Yeah, so it's a little BD1 droid that I will wear when I wear my Mandalorian kit. It mounts on this back plate, which I'll then have, once I get it all working, I'll have to do the leather work to make a harness for it. But yeah, so if you guys want, we can see if this thing will fire up. Yeah, so this has been, how many months? April? What's that, May, June, July, August, September, October? 6 months so far. And I always say, do what you know what to do until you don't know what you're doing. And the building and modeling and stuff I knew how to do. It's just the coding. I've been giving myself a crash course in that.
Okay.
So I'm to a point now where I can read it. I can look at a code and go, okay, it's initializing this library. It's trying to do this. You're hoping a lightning bolt hits it. Which at this point, if a lightning bolt just hits this, then it comes to life. Which everybody in VR is like, oh, you gonna fuck that robot? And I was like, at this point, if it will make it work, I will fuck this robot. Good luck, bud.
Oh my god.
Okay, it's not doing. Hold on, let me hit the reset button. It should make a noise. Flip. Okay, so now the audio driver, the sound driver is running, but nothing else is running. Yeah, like if I had to do a thing like in Batman Dark Knight and like abduct them from their country and they wake up like chained in my basement and I'm like, you fix this fucking robot. Because the whole thing is I had a dog that passed. His name was Vinny. And Vinny was a Dachshund, half miniature pincher, half Dachshund, and he had a thyroid condition. So he was as big as an ottoman. But so he died, and then I took Vinny's ashes and put them in a resin printer, and I made a D20. I made a couple D20s of Vinny. So this is Vinny. What I would like to do is, once this is all done, mount one of these dice into the core of the robot, and then if there is a ghost in the machine, it's my dog.
There was one thing that was, I was like, okay, Two
How are
things in
you
this movie that were good.
feeling?
One, the opening
I'm
scene,
good.
he
I'm
sees
good.
his mom.
These are dry erase
Apparently these
markers,
zombies, they can
so.
say the
They're
last thing that they
permanent.
said
Oh,
before
no.
they died.
Nice.
And it looks
So
like
how
a
are you
giant
feeling?
chainsaw.
Are you excited?
Yeah, I mean, it's old hat at this point. I'll get nervous like right before I go up to make, because I gotta make sure I know my lines. But at this point, we've done this one like 3 times. So after you run through the first one, you're kind of like, okay, I remember what all I have to say.
Everybody else.
You want this?
Now, if you really sit back and get to know him, it's not just a good person, a great comedian, an incredible like crafter and leather worker and like metallurgist. He's the only guy that I know that 3D prints at like an elite level. Frankly, it's impossible to follow him on stage, which is why I have had to like move on from working with him because he's just so goddamn funny and unique, the only living member of NAMBLA I've ever bumped into, which is strange because I thought that was a myth. And then I went online, I'm like, holy shit, this clip is real. And which shows there's good sides and bad sides to it.
You are innocent. Perhaps everybody's on the table.
I didn't know. I was great at improv because you have ADHD. So, and that is where our brains exist, is living in that moment of zipping around and doing everything. And where mine exists doing that in comedy, where I can move and our brains connect dots very, very easily.
Initially subjected you to you, Sherlock Holmes, are innocent.
Yes, I am innocent. I expect you all to take this investigation seriously.
A man has died!
Yes!
ADHD, and my doctor says I have a touch of autism. She said it very, she's like, you got the touch of autism.
The biggest thing about Tommy is it just proves that you can point your autism at your hobbies and it can be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Truly.
Oh, thanks, man. Appreciate it. I really enjoyed the show. Thank you. It scratches an itch. There is, when I get an idea for something, it'll start as a small idea in the back of my head, and then when I have a free moment to think, it bounces around like, hey, what about this? I'm like, yeah, I could probably build it if I did this. And then it just gets louder and louder until it occupies all my thoughts. Because like with ADHD, it's like there's a bunch of TVs that are on in your head, and you can focus on a majority of them. Like there's all this noise going on, which is why like when I first started taking Adderall, I didn't like it because it was like it turned all those multiple streams of consciousness into one sticky tentacle that would like, think about this. Now think about this. My dad's a builder. He makes stuff, but he's a woodworker. Yeah. And like he'll finish a basement, or when I was a kid, he would cut me out a slingshot out of wood. He would make stuff. Yeah. And my mom was more the artist. I am the amalgam of their two approaches, where I have, it has to. I can do the assembly stuff from my dad and the artistic flair from my mom. It gives my mind a purpose, crafting. So it's not just all spin. Now there are the downsides of that is that if I'm like right now I have a project. I always have some project that I'm doing. I finish projects, but I get no sense of accomplishment when it's done. It's like, well, okay, what is next? So like that'll be done, and for like 1 minute I'll be like, hell yeah. Ugh, and like I'll never look at it again. But I remember my dad met me for dinner, and I showed him it. I was like, hey, check this out. I made this arm. And he asked the question, why? He was like, why? And that was like a dagger in my heart. Because it was like, what do you mean, why? Because it needed to be built.
Really close.
It's me, Ozempic jelly roll. You never ask an artist why. So people are coming up people are coming up, and he's standing next to me. Bye, everybody, bye. And there's this woman comes over. She was like, "Does your glove light up?" And I was like, "Oh, yeah, I printed this out of my resin printer and my filament printer. And then I bought a Disney Mandalorian plate thing, and I took it apart, and I rewired everything, and I had to desolder the whole board to get everything in place. And now it just runs on 2 batteries. All I got to do is this." She was like, no, I meant his Michael Jackson glove. His dumb glove from Party City that costs like $1.50. Oh, yeah, because my son, he's got one. He turns on, all the sparkles light up. And I was like, I hate this fucking costume. And so Rob started, from then on, making us sing together in the Murder Mysteries. We started performing as Amish Paraguys. That's what we would call ourselves, Amish Paraguys. And then we decided to make our own musical comedy act 2 years ago. And we were at MagFest on mushrooms. And the last thing Eric said before he passed out was, "We should call ourselves Bussy." And I was like, fuck yeah. They wouldn't say the name on the radio. They wouldn't, some places wouldn't put it on flyers. So then we changed it to be an acronym for the Bionic Universal Super Soldiers Incorporated. And we spelling Bussy with an I. Well, then we find out Bussy with an I is German for goodnight kisses.
The painting or the mask recently. And
Oh my God.
Like, I hate it. I hate myself. It's just so bad. And
Why do I
and then
suck
it
at everything?
finishes, and it's so good, and it's.
I have a hard time trusting the process sometimes. You know, it just
Where does that come from? Like
it just
insecurity?
I don't. Sorry for existing. My mom thought it was really cool. My dad passed in 2018, and then she passed in 2021. She had Parkinson's, and it was really tough. And then I've lost 2 brothers as well, so it's been a really crappy 6 years. So like this is, I don't know. My dad was geeky, like he. I grew up watching Star Trek and loving horror movies and sci-fi, and actually I used to be really afraid of it when I was little, but he desensitized me, as a good father should. And I just, every now and then when I'm getting, the grief sneaks up on me, I'm like, they really would love this. Dad was a nerd. Mom thinks it's cool too, but.
Where's your space pirate? Seriously? Okay. So pixel art has recently consumed our lives. This is the Halloween sweatshop. He's making Metroid. What are these?
Those are screwed.
Okay, thank you. I'm bad with I call the things not by their proper names in the games. Like whatever this creature is.
Oreo.
Okay.
So it's so weird because like he went to the Naval Academy and flew helicopters, and you know he likes football, and he's like a normal dude.
Painting's not that bad. You're just painting lines and blocks, but like once you, it's a very tedious process. You see a lot of erasures on this one because I messed up, so I had to shift a whole bunch of stuff because I started in the wrong spot.
I've always wanted to start dabbling.
She was planning that comic book version of Samus from the Captain N comic, and she asked her friend Dan, who runs the Metroid cosplay group, do you know any Captain N cosplayers? And I guess he was like, oh yeah, I know a guy. And so she commented on an old post of mine. You commented and said, are you bringing Captain N to MagFest? And I said,
did do that.
You know, Samus needs a space pirate to fight, but there are no space pirates in any of the 8-bit game. And so I just had this idea of like a post-apocalyptic kind of look where Kevin got trapped in Videoland for 30 years. And so I wore that to MagFest. I missed out on actually getting to be with her in that cosplay at that time because I was waiting for my son, and she was doing it during the daytime, and my son and I went more in the evening.
He works so differently. It's like all math and science and planning, and I'm like, let's just make it, rawr. So it's we frustrate each other like that. It's fun. No, I mean like
You actually approached
like
me.
yesterday. I'm
That's
like,
right.
I remember
Came up to
now.
Logan
You're
and me.
tall, all right? I mean,
I'm tall,
you're easy to
wearing
stick
a bright
out.
red and yellow costume, so it was very obvious that if you just were in the right area that you came up and asked who I was, and I said who I was, and we hung out a bit and talked, and the next day I got to see her fantastic armor and was just absolutely blown away by the armor, and we got some pictures together, and we kept in touch, and then we did get to do a photo shoot together in those cosplays next to a dumpster. I'm a retired naval officer. I was a naval aviator. I flew helicopters and fixed-wing aircraft, and then after I retired in 2019, I became a defense contractor, and so I work as a program analyst for a contract company that supports a program office here for Naval Air Systems Command.
Do they know that you're a nerd?
Yes.
Oh gosh, when they find out, it's so funny. Like those two guys at the picnic, they were like, "We don't look at you the same anymore."
When I was at the Naval Academy, I was there from 95 to 99, graduated in 99, and Otakon is a huge con in DC, originally Baltimore, and that started late 90s. And at the time, I'd become aware of it somehow. Meanwhile, I'm collecting comics, playing games, watching anime. I'm still a big nerd, but I'm seeing these cosplayers, and I'm like, man, that's weird. That's really weird. And now I'm a weirdo.
I know. Next thing you know, we're going to be furries and LARPers.
The variety of people we meet at cons is hilarious. Like and you talk to them, and there's a guy, it's like he does this hilarious version of the Spider-Man 3 Peter Parker where he's all emo and he's got the dark hair and he's dancing and stuff, and he does that stuff and he's really good and it's hilarious. And then talk to him, it's like he's a lawyer in New York City. So just like the people you meet, and and the people are like, you were a naval aviator, you flew helicopters overseas, and they're just like, what? And so like the people you meet, you just never realize where they all come from, but that's what brings them and everybody together is the passion and those interests.
I was gonna say, I like the spirit of it too, because he is self-conscious as I feel, which has been a big subject of this whole thing. There's people, obviously, other people there at conventions that struggle to communicate and, be themselves too. It's part of the Halloween Sweatshop 2024.
Gotcha.
No. Yeah, it's...
Cut holes in here, and we're gonna stand it out in the yard. We don't have a bunch of stakes holding it up, because otherwise it's gonna be really...
Well, he's doing space theme because of me, so
You're right.
it was my idea. So I don't know.
So we came up with different things to make it fun.
I thought it'd be fun for people to have a photo op. So we're gonna cut some head holes in there, and
Turn a couple skeletons into those, and then
I'm bad at
put a
talking,
little sign or whatever.
but you are the best, most genuine
Photo op.
person I know, and you have such a kind heart. He has such a kind heart. He's the nicest, and he's handsome, and he's normal, but he's also not. I don't know. I don't know. I feel safe and happy and comfortable to be myself, and whatever that is.
You were wearing a helmet and a mask, but yes, you were beautiful. The night before, but I saw her the next day, and I was definitely blown away because the craftsmanship is so good, and I've seen a few others here and there, and hers looked so good. And
so we just happened to stop in Statesville, right? That's where it was, and we just were getting a drink, and the way we came into town, we drove right by this scrapyard, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I was like, that would be a perfect garbage world. Like, we got to figure out how to do a shoot there. Unbeknownst to her, months later, I wanted to ask her to marry me, and I'd already asked her sister for her blessing, and worked with a friend of ours who's a pretty good photographer, and she's local to North Carolina, and she agreed to do it. And I talked to the scrapyard, and they were really cool with the idea. And then so we got there, and everybody at the scrapyard knew. Our friend Natalie knew. Everybody, they were all just kind of waiting for me to ask her. But we did the whole photo shoot, and then Natalie recorded some video, and we did it one time, and then the second time I was on my knees holding up the ring, and she came around the corner, and then everybody cheers, and we hug and kiss, and she says yes. And
I didn't know you had a beard under the mask.
I don't know how you could.
I couldn't figure out why he was so adamant about this photo shoot, and like, I'm such a grump. I feel so bad. I think
put my armor on early in the morning.
I know, and I was like, why do you want to do this so badly? Just let it go. Like, it's not going to work out, And yeah, I didn't know he had all that planned. My sister had to talk me off the ledge. She's like, sometimes you got to compromise, Jennifer. Just do this. Just do this for him. How's your hermit crab?
What's it called? Oh, okay.
I could tell she was talented by everything I'd seen, and she looked like fun and wasn't afraid to be herself. Because,
I had you tricked.
That's how you resolve a marriage.
That's how we resolve the marriage.
I mean, you're dancing in your armor, testing it out and everything, and you seemed like a lot of fun. Then we met, and you were so genuine.
But not pretty?
I mean, we had our masks on, so like it wasn't even really thinking about looks. I mean, your eyes were very pretty, but I wasn't thinking about looks in that way. We were just talking and hanging, and we had shared interests, and like I said, you seemed so genuine and nice and friendly and open, and you know.
They're both snoring now.
Yeah, gross. That's gonna be how you're known now. In documentary is the guy who smushed the lantern.
Before we talked and got to know each other, I kept falling more and more for you, and you know, like I said, in our vows, I said that I don't think I understood romantic love until I met Jen. Because, you know, nothing had ever clicked or just felt so natural, right, and easy with her.
If he's going by Jonathan, there's going to be way too many Johns. It's too many Johns. Need more Chris's.
What would I change about her? Nothing really, other than her believing in herself a little more than she does, because she is amazing.
Change.org.
Nobody needs to have a big head or be arrogant about themselves. She needs to believe in her talent and what she's able to do and bring forth, and she impresses me constantly.
I love your cosplay.
Thank you.
So I wish she would see that the way I see that.
Lou? Let me get it.
Sorry.
You know, sometimes it's annoying because he's down here, you know, tinkering. Is that what we call him?
Yeah, tinker.
But it's good. It's good. It's annoying, like, if I want to do something and he's in the middle of something down here because he's got comedy in him. But for the most part, I'm very proud of him. And I'm impressed. He never ceases to amaze me.
But like usually now, like the past couple nights, I'm at least trying to get wrapped up and be upstairs by like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock,
Yeah.
so we can watch TV and have some, you know, have some time for ourselves.
Stop it.
He likes my fingers.
I like it.
They're delicious.
It's him tinkering. So it's like, you know, if I want to go out and do something with us for us, you know, I feel bad because it might be the only night that he's able to come down here and work on the robot.
It's not going as smoothly the second time.
She grounds me. And by that I mean I can get wrapped up in doing projects, different projects, whether it's comedy or building or tinkering or stuff.
And then there'll be sweatpants. But I'm not putting the sweatpants on. But then, once this is all painted up, then it will be time for doom.
Blue helps keep me secure to the real world. She's my rock.
It just was meant to be. It wasn't something, we both kind of knew who we were, and it just worked. I love Tommy because he's very thoughtful. He's very devoted. He's very loyal. He's very, he's fun. He's funny, and I like that. I think that's one of the things. We laugh a lot, and he's just, we both have been around the block a few times and had some, you know, serious relationships before we met. And with Tommy, it was just, we just gelled. There was something about him that He's just, it's just there. It just is. It's just something that I know will work. Gross.
But would you eventually understand?
No. There's a history with Tommy and I and what he fucks. I always joke with him, like, because he's so into building stuff and into, like, you know, robots and, like, you know, getting, like, a robotic arm and, you know, like, you always see those movies that's, like, futuristic and they're, like, half robot and he's gonna leave me for a robot.
Look, I can
And
honestly
then
say that since we've been living together, I have not made anything to fuck.
We've been living together for like 20 years.
Yeah. So in 20 years, I haven't made anything to fuck.
Does that mean you're fucking stuff we already have?
I didn't make these things.
What does that mean?
I'm not crafting
You're fucking
things.
everything. You're fucking
Look,
the chairs.
Don't touch that couch.
I'd be pissed if it was happening in the basement with the. If I came down and saw him fucking the robot, shit would not be good.
I wouldn't get caught fucking. I'm not gonna fuck the robot. At this point, the robot's fucking me because it doesn't work. Then over time, you become more sensitive to magnetic fields. Like your brain is just taking this new information and maps it as a sense. Her family calls me the magic man. On her dad's side. Because they knew that I was in entertainment, but they didn't know what it was. And that would be cool.
Can you light up one more time?
You would be like Magneto.
Lou wouldn't let me. That's my project. Lou wouldn't let me put magnets in me.
I think they know he's kind of dorky in that sense, but fascinated. I think, no, I'm saying my family, nobody in my immediate circle, whether it's some of my best friends or family, are tinkerers like that, or builders.
Woof woof.
I've had like family that, you know, would build things here and there, but not a robot.
Now I have fucked these masks.
Get out. Stop it!
I built her a doorstop.
How long did it take me?
It took like a year. Whenever you ask me to make you something, and the refrigerator shelf, that bar, I made the thing to reinforce the bar.
What does that have to do with, though?
You love putting stuff in the refrigerator.
Not like a prized possession of mine. Stuff like that's for the house and stuff.
What do you just tell me you want something, I'll make it.
Between songs is always different.
Are you
So
telling me that you can sing?
I can sing. Not right now. I'm not singing right now.
I can also sing.
You can say hell yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that was a back.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Do you want me to sing?
Can you sing shout?
No, not down here.
The trick is to look at the elbow.
What about Can I Fuck It? You know that one?
No, what's that song? Is it about a robot?
Oh my god. This is so cool.
Hello. Do you want to sing?
Don't point me.
You look great.
Thank you.
Very scary.
How can you breathe in this?
Usually there's fans running.
How can you hear in this?
You can't hear it.
I love her.
I love you.
I love you.
For the camera, please.
Oh, and the dogs don't like when we show affection to each other. Like if we go like, oh. Now they're not doing it. Right now, I have on my to-do list things I would like to build. I want to build, there's a mask for a buddy of mine, a mic stand for Bussy. I'd love to get this robot working, but apparently the guy that has the code that works on it he's not on Facebook every day. I gotta wait till, I don't know, he gets back to his yurt and gets a satellite connection so he can upload the code for this robot.
This one took me a couple of years. definitely want to grow it still. Sometimes I do feel burnout about it, but I already have plans for the next big armor.
Oh, I'm John. I go by John V.
Oh, sorry.
Another John?
Yes.
Yep.
Another John?
So.
Too many Johns. Just kidding, you're fine. Don't change your name. I want to make Samus's light suit from Prime 2. It's really pretty. So it is consuming me, whether I want it to or not. Hey, John?
Yes?
Do you see any reason why my right leg would suddenly just start?
You're talking to the Jennifer from 30 years ago
Oh.
regarding this process.
Go to the convention and don't stop doing art. And go to school for art like you wanted to do.
Say be open to trying new things and don't necessarily, judge them before you've really given them a chance. Just keep trying and keep doing, and not everything's going to be perfect, and you got to forgive yourself and not let yourself get discouraged because what you made wasn't perfect. The next time something will be better and you're going to grow and improve.
So be open to furries. That's what you're saying.
Whatever you're passionate about, explore it with every ounce of your being, because you never know where it might take you. I know if I do the straps, I might do an adjustable strap. If something fails, I will, and then I have the test one that. Pootie, it's all right. He knew I was thinking retrospectively. And the worst part is, I can only bend to here, like C-3PO. I can only do what you know until you don't know what you're doing, and that's when you have to learn something new. And don't be afraid to suck. Everybody sucks when they start. Put together your crappy mech made of cereal boxes and wear it to a con, and some people will say it sucks, but then you'll find at least one person that wants to take a picture with you and says, hey, that was cool. Hey, we're the Bionic Universal Super Soldiers. No one has ever been like, why are you wearing it? Or you may have someone ask you why.
That's what you wanna be. Baby, I got bad news for you. There's only one, and sadly not two. Try so hard to be someone else. Gotta let it do. Myself, it gave me a will. Realize that you can bring me down. You acting like a clown. Let me tell you, bust a move, can you bust a move? Bust a move, can you bust a move? Bust a move, can you bust a move? Can you bust a move? Bust a move, can you bust a move? Bust a move, can you bust a move? Bust a move, can you bust a move? Can you bust a move?
Greetings, for I am Comfy Doom.
Masks are all done. Everything goes, everything glows. It's super fucking comfy. Got a Sherpa hoodie. We got just some sweatpants on there, and then these nice these house slippers that kind of have like a plated look. And they're super comfy. I've been wearing them ever since I got them. But yeah, Comfy Doom. Doom. Doom.
Guys, Tommy Sinbazo here, Droid Update. I've had a breakthrough, so check this out. He's getting there. He's moving. I just have to adjust the randomness. I have to adjust some timers for his ears, and then I can button him up. He still needs his controller to work, but I mean, he moves. Hi, buddy. He moves. I just got to make him move a little more.
What you looking for?
You said you would have sex with that robot.
Look, if it'll work, if it'll make it work, if there is some dark lord out there that will make it work, then okay.
Oh, I don't know.
So this is Vinny's internals. There's his DF player that controls his music, his audio files. This is an ESP32. It's basically his brain, and once I'm done doing the programming, that gets put back in this slot. But what I wanted to do is, my dog Vinny passed away 2 years ago today, and I did want to save this process for when I was 100% complete, but it's 2 years ago today, so I figure, why not put it in? I made this die using Vinny's ashes. I put his ashes in my resin printer and printed out a couple die. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to hot glue this die into the body. That way, if there is a ghost in the machine, it's my baby boy Vin. All right, so here we go. Here we go. Put a glob of epoxy resin in there. And then make sure that that's not burning down my house. And then we are putting this into place. And we're going to let that cure. Yeah. Okay, that's in. All right. Welcome home, Vin. Come back to me, bud.